Hello and welcome to another edition of the One Team We Agree On. I'm Jillian.
And I'm Kyle. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm great, actually.
Yeah.
It's been a fun-filled weekend, and yeah, Union back in action this coming time of the recording. They're in action tonight, and then again on Saturday. So yeah, a lot to discuss. We're winging this episode because it's been a busy weekend, and yeah, we're traveling to Houston this weekend. A lot going on. So yeah, we're gonna have some fun, talk about a couple topics. But before we get started today, what are we wearing?
Okay, well, I think this was a no-brainer. I am wearing my Be the Bull shirt that was in the like piñata of Red Bull like 2 years ago. So, yeah, for obvious reasons.
Yeah, and I'm wearing the Las Vegas Lights Golden Nugget downtown T-shirt, which I really like. A little bit of Vegas there, a little bit of USL, which we will talk about in a second. But
Yes.
um, where can people find us at?
You can find us wherever you get your podcasts, as well as our website, theoneteamweagreeon.com. You can find us on our various socials. We're at TOTWAG on Twitter and Blue Sky. We are at the One Team We Agree on Facebook and Instagram. You can find me at silly double underscore Jilly on Twitter and Instagram. I was having a conversation with some people about, yeah, my Twitter handle is yeah, kind of like from my 20s. And
Yeah.
it's all good. It's all good.
Yeah.
Because we were talking about Ryan Richter's Twitter handle as well.
Yeah.
Um, but yes, gotta stick with it. It's like your brand now, you know? So
Hey,
anyway, but I'm at that and I'm at Jillian Almany on Blue Sky, and you all can find Kyle at Coach Almany on Twitter and Instagram and Blue Sky. Although you
yep.
don't really post on Blue Sky, so
Not as much
not
as
much.
we should,
I mean,
but
I don't really that much either, so.
anyway, today we're going to talk about obviously the Union's victory against the New York Red Bulls. We're going to recap the
Mhm.
Chattanooga match for Union 2, and yeah, we'll talk about if you're again listening on Wednesday, the match tonight against CF Montreal. So before we get into that, just a little bit of news this week. We had wrote about it on
Yes.
our website, the one
Hmm.
team we agree on.com. Again, thank you everybody for listening. Another great week of engagement on that
Yeah, we
site.
appreciate like we got
Yeah,
lots of great views.
it it's
Yeah,
been great.
we appreciate everyone checking out our work, and we've had a lot of articles out. So, if you haven't, go check it out. Had my interview with Pierce Holbrook. I posted that article in there. We have our match recaps, our previews, and all of that. And so lots of content going on there.
Yeah, and you also talked to Giovanni Sequeira too.
Yes, I did. I did through translator. Thank you, Alex, for translating, by the way. It's with Works of the Union. Um, because my Spanish is no bueno.
So anyway, but before we get talking about USL, a Union 2 homegrown player on the move. That's CJ Olney.
Yep.
CJ, we talked about him last episode about maybe somebody we'd like to see in the Open Cup match, and we'll talk about that in a second.
Mm.
But yeah, CJ's heading to Lexington for the remainder of 2025, and yeah, gets to meet up with former Union Academy goalkeeper Brooks Thompson, and
And
he played in Union too as
mhm,
well. Corey Burke.
Corey Burke, doot 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 doot.
Yep, and I'm
That's it.
missing somebody.
Marcus Epps.
Marcus Epps, thank you. So yeah, little Union connection there. But
Yeah, he already played.
yeah, he
He
played
subbed in, I think, the 72nd minute in their most recent match, which Corey Burke scored the very late game tying goal.
yeah. So overall thoughts on the move?
I mean, I think this is good for CJ. I think it's win-win. This gets CJ higher level of competition to work with, gets him some playing time, and hopefully then he comes back next season and gets a real chance with the first team because, we've been really high on CJ. I
Hmm.
think he deserves a chance there. Wanted to see him get a chance, but with the Union's first team this season. But hey, this is a good move for him. It's a good move for the guys that are behind him in the depth chart at Union 2. They'll get to step up. So, hey, it's win-win and best of luck to CJ. He's a great kid and looking forward to big things from him.
Yeah, no, I think we talked about it here before. I know others around the community have talked about it. He's kind of graduated to some degree for the MLS Next Pro. I think that,
Kind of like Andrew Rick has.
yeah, I think that gap between MLS Next Pro and first team MLS, it's kind of wide. And I was talking to somebody before Saturday's match about that, actually. And look, there's a lot of pathways for these guys in MLS Next Pro. You got USL Championships, you got overseas. Maybe they break through the first team roster and make an impact like
Mhm.
Frankie, like Andrew Rick.
Mhm.
Uh, What I'm saying is this is going to be a good opportunity for him to, take that next developmental step. And we've seen guys like Matt Real,
Yep.
we've seen guys like Brendan Craig who
It's gonna
kind
be
of,
coming.
and then
It's
even
coming on Wednesday.
even Nelson Pierre,
Yeah.
So who knows where this is going to see, but this is a great move for him. I'm happy to see him. Coincidentally, Lexington's playing Las Vegas Lights on the 30th of August while I'm en route to Reno for the swim coaches convention.
Yep.
So maybe taking an extra night detour to head out there to Cashman Field to see CJ and the rest of them because that's going to be an interesting. So stay tuned. We'll see what happens with that. But right now, that is the tentative plan. But yeah, again, great move. Wish you nothing but the best, CJ. And yeah, hope this transfer is much success. I mean, transfer loan finds you much success. And again, like you said, maybe this, if it's a very successful loan, maybe something that comes up. Maybe Lexington. Now it's probably not. I don't know. I didn't read the details. It didn't seem like there was a option to buy, but you never know. Maybe another USL team sees something they like and offers him a contract that's better than what the union can offer. Or maybe, this is something where they say, okay, you made those moves. Now we're going to make you a more integrate part of the roster.
Yeah, I really do selfishly hope that it leads to CJ just,
Yeah.
stepping up his game and then coming back and getting to actually play with the first team at the Union because like I said, I really like what he brings to it. I think his play can really fit in with this. So, yeah.
Yeah, we'll see. Um, anyway, that's all for that news. Let's talk about some Union versus Red Bulls. We were last week supposed to have a double billing, a first U.S. Open Cup quarterfinal matchup that got rained out and postponed.
Yeah, good times there. Yeah, so we actually took my friend Erica, who I work with, and it was her first Union game, and well, she didn't get to actually see a game, but we had fun nonetheless. But yeah, waiting out that rain delay was something.
Yeah, it was fun from my vantage point because we were all sitting there media dining and just kind of working on everything and we kept hearing like this storm's coming guys and like we go
Hmm.
out while you guys are all down in the river and we were up there kind of looking at the storm. It's like, okay, maybe they'll get in the first half and
Hmm.
or try to get maybe the storm will hold off right and they can finish this game. And we were hearing like, well, they might be holding off. There might be another storm coming kind of thing. And I'm just sitting there and finally I hear like the march out and I'm like, oh, I
Hmm.
guess we're hopping in. So we went
Yep.
out, got everything set up. National anthem comes and I'm like, okay, I guess we're playing. Sit down. As soon as we sit down, I look up, I see like Andre jumping up and down everything, and then all
Yeah.
of a sudden I look over the side and I see the severe weather
Yep.
alert. And all of a sudden, and as soon as I'm sitting down, also I'm seeing like one of the other interns, they're closing
Yeah.
down thing, and I'm like, oh, I guess we're not. So
Yeah, that all of a sudden it's like, oh, and we're in a delay. And honestly, I do appreciate the fact that it got called out before the rain let loose.
yeah,
So we decided to we went and waited kind of by the media steps and just hanging out over there. But definitely as always, it was kind of a party under the river end. They
yeah,
had chants
shout.
going and everything and I've been under there before for those. It was so stinking hot out and I was like, I need a breeze. So we got we actually found a good spot over there.
No, it was great to hear all the chants. Just sitting there, you could even hear them all throughout the upper level there.
Hmm.
Really loud. So credit to Sons of Ben. I know some Keystone Ultra guys were there. So hey, and other supporting groups. So hey, it was good to hear the energy
Hmm.
throughout the evening. But yeah, as the evening went on, the rain kept letting loose.
Yeah.
And for people that don't know, there was a big thing of are they gonna play? Are they not gonna
Hmm.
play? And then it kind of there was just radio silence. And long story short, yeah, game was postponed.
Yep. Got
So
called, yeah, like they said, oh, we'll have an update at what was it, like 8:45,
45.
and then sure enough, it was postponed then. So, and at that point the field looked like a swimming pool pretty
Yeah,
much.
I mean, I posted some videos. I know you did too. That
Yep.
yeah, we were kind of up on our vantage point, going out on the field periodically, just kind of peeking out. And yeah, it was. There was no way they were going to play that by even 8 o'clock. There was no way they were going to play it, but the storms were so bad that, it was, you know. Anyway, but match has been rescheduled for August 13th. And the union just announced today that the match will be at 7:30. So,
Yeah, so like that's a Wednesday, right?
yep, Wednesday. And as fate would have it, guess what? Double billing against the Red Bulls again. So
Yep.
they're home and then they're up in Harrison, New Jersey that Saturday.
Yep. So lots of it's a double Red Bull week again. So it's always interesting.
Yeah, and I know there were people talking about when they could play it. You know, some people were thinking about not this week, but next week, and that's the All-Star game. And so you're not going to
Yeah.
do it then. And then you get into the League's Cup, which New York is in. So that was a whole nother thing. And it was just interesting to hear like everybody speculate until the club finally made the announcement.
Yeah.
So,
Yep.
um,
So that was that.
but good news, there was a match on Saturday.
Yep.
So,
Was.
um, talk about the pregame festivities.
All right. So
It was
we
a good crowd.
it was. It was. Now we had a swim meet in the morning and then we got there and so we were there for pretty much the whole tailgate, I think. So,
Yeah.
but we were there and good crowd on hand.
Yeah, we were walking around Union Yards, walking
Yeah.
around the lot a little bit,
Yeah.
just saying hi to
Checking out,
people.
yeah, checking out all that. So they had an ice sculpture in the Sons of Ben
Yep.
lot. They made an ice sculpture of a Red Bull and then they like destroyed it.
Yeah. I mean, it was just kind of like, here's a nice sculpture. We're going to blowtorch it. Which is like, okay.
Yeah.
We've seen better, but obviously with the heat, I doubt they were going to burn the bull.
I mean, burning the bull is always good. And yeah, and like when
And
they had the piñata was pretty awesome because people taking swings at that, of course, always a
it's
good
all
time.
a good time.
But I
And
appreciate they're trying to come up with something more,
for sure.
something different. So that's cool.
Yeah, and there was a nice little ice sculpture out in front with the Union crest on it, and that was really nice
Yeah.
as well. So it was from some people really liked it. It was mixed emotions. Some people really liked it. Some people are like, I've seen better. But again, credit to Philadelphia Union for trying something a little different
Hmm.
there and get everybody riled up.
Yeah. Oh, and they were handing out rally towels. Yeah, I don't have one to show. I mean, yeah,
Yeah,
I
I
got
know a
one
whole bunch of us were
somewhere.
picking them
Yeah,
up.
but they had rally towels, and I forget where I put mine. And also, there was a giveaway inside the stadium too, so I can show that while I'm mentioning it.
Yeah.
It's this, so it's supposed to be like what a cooling towel or something. It's like, yeah, I never knew it. I have one from like a few years ago. That was kind of the same thing, but yeah, that's nice. It's a giant brand thing on the end, but yeah, this cooling towel thing was a
Perfect for the
giveaway.
summer
Uh,
matches. So that's a good little
yeah.
giveaway that they had.
Yeah, and the rally towels were cool. So as some people know, I like to cover up the ugly cabinets in my classroom, so rally towels do the trick.
For sure. Let's so that was the pregame. Let's actually talk about the match itself now, the
Yeah.
transition. So I mean, Union have now extended their unbeaten streak to 15 matches against New York Red
In
Bulls
all competitions.
competitions,
Yep.
12 in MLS, 8-0-4.
And what did Jim call them? Like little brother or something like that last year?
That was. That was probably the most fired up I'd heard him. I'm sitting there in press conference going,
Oh,
"You do realize, Jim, we still got to play them again. This is bulletin
also,
board
yeah,
material."
we have to give them bulletin board material, but yeah, honestly, who doesn't love a good beatdown on the Red Bulls? I mean, but I'll tell you what, that was
You know what else was funny about that
great.
before
Yeah,
sorry, but before was he started that going in about Troy
what I
Lesesne,
was saying, yeah,
how great of a coach he is, how he deserves a job, or he will get an MLS coaching job, which he did with DC.
yeah,
But unfortunately, Troy got fired.
he gone.
He got fired from DC this week, or was it?
And you all need to watch out for the Tom Booger reports. Don't get fooled by Tom Booger. Great, great Twitter account. It's like a parody of Tom
Yeah,
Booger.
like today
Like,
they like said, "Hey, Josh Wolf, are they're in preliminary
yeah.
talks." It's like I wonder how many people actually fell for that. But
I bet you some did because yeah, unless you're not paying attention, you very well
I've
could.
once or twice been like, "Wait a minute, oh, that's a different."
Yeah. But anyway, so yeah, the we saw what the lineup was going to be for Wednesday, and then for Saturday, it wasn't too much different. And it's so good. It was so good to have Ty Baribo back, of
Yep.
course, and Frankie Westfield was back in the lineup, on the bench. Those were some of the big ones there. Mikel Ua was still out with injury, but working his way back. Jesus Bueno still out, but it was great to see Sal Olivas getting on the bench again. I think
Yeah.
Bradley's really been liking what he's seeing from him, and we'll talk about him. But good for him on that. And so pretty strong lineup that was able to be put out.
No, I thought it was a good line for what they had. I mean, the only difference really, I think, was Donovan and Bender were the only other two that weren't on the U.S. Open. Uh,
Yeah, yeah, because
oh,
they had limited.
yeah.
It was a little bit smaller bench that they could have. So, um,
But
and you had Ty and Bruno up top, which is good.
which was good. I mean, honestly, and I know other people have talked about it, we're going to talk about it, but that first 45, even Carnell talked about it. Like, that was what you wanted to see out of the Union. You're playing against a team that is very similar. Even this is probably the most he's ever admitted that, like, the opponent is the
Yeah.
same. But
Yeah.
really, outside of the first 15 minutes, like I said in my article, there was a couple times that they were going down the right side of the pitch against Kai, and they were kind of getting over top of him a little bit, and then they adjusted defensively, and from there, you really dominated the midfield, and really just kept the Red Bulls from really punishing them over top. Uh, that first 45, despite being up 2-0 at half, was probably one, if not the best halves I've seen this team play
Yeah.
this year.
Can I say, just point blank, that first 45 minutes was some beautiful soccer. That first 45 minutes was what we've all been wanting to see. What we know they can do. That was fantastic. Uh, those two goals were great. Like, first of all, you have they started with this good confidence, and they really showed the Red Bulls your little brother here. And and then the second half they were just kind of like, the Red Bulls tried, I think kind of recalibrated a little bit, and they were um making it a little more even at that point. But like, first of all, you get the set piece goal, you get that goal off the corner, and and
Yeah.
and just all the crowding of the box there, and then Mikanya like literally just like an inch away from that going completely over the line. When I saw like the aerial view of it, I was like, oh wow. Because like watching it live, I'm on the opposite end of the field,
Mhm.
and it looked like it was going in, but then obviously Coronel makes a really great save there, just just a tiny, tiny bit away from going over the line. And I've been so rooting for Makanya to get a goal. He's one of the only guys on that. It's like Makanya and Blake out of the starters that don't have a goal. And can you imagine if Andre Blake got a goal?
Mm.
That would be insane. But
I
no,
mean, Rick got an assist.
I mean, yeah. So, and I'm pretty sure, yeah, Andre's gotten an assist before, but I remember there was one, like, I think it was a year or two ago. He did, but it was probably 2 years ago, to be honest. So, anyway, but Indy's right there to get the rebound and just roof that thing. And
Yeah.
that was great. What a way to get everyone going in the stadium there as well. And they never really looked back from that because that set the tone. And then that second goal was beautiful. And I know there's been all kinds of praise, they were talking about it on MLS 360 on the wrap up, all that. They're talking about it all over social media. Just the passing and the build up that led to Bruno's goal. That was
Mhm.
just class. That was class.
Yeah, so well, some things to unpack there. First, getting back to indie school,
Mm-hmm.
there again, another set piece. I think it's now 13. I think Union are either tied or one behind Minnesota once again for most set piece goals in
Getting
MLS.
that, yeah, getting those chicken nuggies for people,
Yeah,
which we can't get though in Lancaster.
but regardless,
Yes.
yeah, when they make that announcement, I'm like,
Like,
whatever.
well, we're
Yeah, exactly. Um,
yeah.
I just laughed every time people like they do that, but that's a whole nother topic for a
But
whole
anyway,
nother day.
whatever.
That set piece goal. McKay gets it, like you said, Cornell makes that wonderful save. I thought that was a really heads up play by him.
Mm-hmm.
The goal by Indy knocks it in. You gets the second goal of the year. We talk a lot about Indiana Vasilev. We've talked about the Union probably need to go get a more creative all around
Mm-hmm.
number 10 up there attacking mid.
Yeah.
The reason Carnell likes Indy is his work rate.
Yeah.
But we were talking up there, there's times even on Saturday night where the awareness still isn't there. When Indy tries to hold the ball too long before just making that pass. There was a play where he could just shot the ball on net,
Mm-hmm.
and there were players in that box where you get a rebound, maybe knock something, maybe Ty gets a foot on, maybe Bruno gets a foot on it. You get another goal, but he just kind of dribbled it and then kind of did something in the box, got deflected out. It's like, but that goal, that's another reason where you say, okay, this is why Indiana Vasiliev is on this team because that's a workman's goal right there. That's
Mm-hmm.
not that pretty goal like Bruno has, where it's the build up and the good finish. That's a goal where you guys got guys in the box, he gets the foot on it and finishes it, and that's a work goal. And where you stand on Indy, you gotta love that because he just gets in there, does his job, puts the ball in the net.
Yeah, and that's what you want. You gotta have having someone there to get that rebound and finish that. That was huge. And honestly, that was really well deserved. I thought Indy had a great game. He sometimes we've said, oh, he runs around a lot and doesn't necessarily always get something done, but he did, and I think he's been doing a lot better job of that lately. I think.
Yeah,
I mean,
I mean,
so
again, there's a lot to like about Indy. There's a lot to not like about Indy,
I mean,
but he fits
yeah,
what Carnell wants to do, and
he does fit the system.
he does. Also, Union lead MLS for most goals in the first 15 minutes with seven. Carnell just did say, "Hey, that sets the tone for the game," and that's good to
Hmm.
see. We've seen that in the past. Union like to get out on that front foot, especially in 2022. They
Yep,
like to get those early goals. So again, another good thing. The Damiani goal, you see Ty just connect with Quinn. Quinn puts that up, and it's just close enough that he's kept offsides by the far. Because I was
inside. I mean,
onside,
yeah,
where we were all like, "Ooh, is he off?" Because that was really close. But then you look at the video on the monitor, and it's like, the far guy kind of holds him on, and that was the right call. It was a good call to go to the monitor and check, but he was onside. But just a great finish, and
yes.
again, that again is what Bruno Damiani is really good at is getting
Hmm.
in there, getting that little break, and then just finishing that ball. You saw that very first goal he scored for Union. Just ball comes in, slides in, knocks it in. That's really what you want from him. He's gonna run on the ball and finish it.
That's what I'm waiting for.
So it's good to now see he's got 5 goals in all competitions.
Yep.
He's starting to play a lot more confidently. So
And welcome back, Quinn.
yeah, Quinn, you said we talked about no creation. I thought on the night Quinn was good. You could tell he was getting into it.
So he
maybe
was
not.
glad to be back and he has something to prove, him and Nate.
Yeah, yeah. Second half, sure. I mean, first 15 minutes, Carnell even said they probably could have played a little bit better. But again, credit to the Union. They navigated the storm. Defensively, they kind of shut down. You
Yeah,
then
Kyle, how many shots did Red Bull have?
in the
The
first
first
half,
half.
zero.
Yeah. And they
And
didn't have to do as so much.
but then they outshot. They had 8 shots. The second half outshot the Union by 1 goal.
Hmm.
But again, they're chasing the game. They're
Yeah.
trying to create more. I thought the defensive work from pretty much everybody on that back line. You had Frankie come in. He
Good to
played
see
well.
Frankie back in. Yep.
Carnell said it was great to see him. I mean, he's had some even like coming back. He's had some knocks, but Carnell praised him. He said, "This is what our culture is about." And Frankie embodies that, and I think anybody listening to this podcast agrees with that.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, he brings that good energy and Frankie and Sal came in at the same time. I see both of them coming in and I'm like, all right, let's go, boys. Let's go because I like the energy they inject into it. And we saw that with Union 2 with them last year. And so I think that was good. And speaking about the defense,
Yeah,
I
let's talk about that because I want to
Kanya.
talk. Well, I want to talk about
We're
Gless's
gonna talk
and
about Glassness too,
well,
but
both of them.
yeah, Mikanya, I thought was phenomenal and a well-deserved appearance on Team of the Match Day. He's on the
Mhm.
bench, as is Indy. So I thought that was great to see because he has really just grown substantially this season. And yeah, are there blunders sometimes? Yeah,
Yeah,
sure. It's part of the development. Obviously, we wish that could take back what happened in Nashville, but it wasn't entirely, I think, on him. But it's he's been phenomenal. I thought that was one of the best games I've seen from him, and he's pairing well with Glesness, and I think having Andre back there, nothing against Rick, because Rick's great with him too, and great with them. But I think having Andre, just with his experience back there, is helping because I saw Andre talking to Mikanya at
hmm.
times, and then when they were also leaving the field at halftime too, just kind of going over some things with him. So I think that leadership has been very good for him as well.
Oh yeah, and Glesson's we talked to him after the game.
Hmm.
He echoed exactly kind of what you were just saying there. Obviously you heard the comments he made. Because yeah, he basically said that this kid's still, growing, but summarizing obviously that he's been a great, addition to this team and you saw that and after that unfortunate PK you're going to learn from.
Yeah.
That's a mistake you gotta grow from. No better way than to bounce back with a game like that. I mean, the block on Forsberg, I believe it was there.
They really contained Forsberg
They did. Uh,
and Choupo-Moting.
yeah, they did. I mean, I think what was it, 9 touches by Forsberg? Something really like he had no, it was one chance creation, one shot. Now, one shot was going on net, and I don't know, Andre was diving, but great heads up play there by Bancanya.
Yep.
Second half, just some good communication between him and Jacob. Frankie comes in at the end to kind of provide the extra firepower. You bring Quinn off, you move Nate up a little bit, get a
Hmm.
little bit more defensive. Um, yeah, you can't be more happy about that. And just seeing once they kind of got through that first 15, 20 minutes of that half and the subs are coming on, you could tell that Philadelphia was just locking it down,
Hmm.
getting in there, trying to get that clean sheet, which let's talk about. Union had 8 clean sheets in 2024 in MLS season play. They now have 9.
Yeah, and
Now there's plenty of soccer still to be played,
yeah,
but
but also considering there was a good stretch where you have Andrew Rick in there,
yeah,
and he's really done a good job filling in there as well. And so I think that's been impressive. But also, a big part of that is the defense that they've been holding it down, and you've had. I think what also helps is unfortunately, Jack Elliott and Jacob Lessons were just getting run into the ground, and it wasn't obviously a great year for either of them, but especially not for Jacob last year. So it was, I think, also the fact that there's been a little bit of rotation in there to help keep them a little fresher is good. And you see Nate fill in at center back a bit. So it was good to see that happen a little bit as well. So,
It
yeah,
is, and again, here's a two matches this week kind of format. Is there a little bit rotation? Maybe if the Union get a lead, does Jacob come out and maybe they bring in Harriel? Do they bring in Frankie? Do they make some switches on the back line just to close it out? We'll see. But no, nothing but great praise for the defense. One other topic. Let's talk about Sal. Sal
let's talk
comes
about
in.
Sal.
Um,
Yeah,
again. We've said we've had Sal on the podcast. You've interviewed him this week.
yeah,
Love Sal.
yeah,
Um, were we, s- were we kind of like, oh, we'll see what happens here with this when he start getting playing time?
yeah.
Yeah. I mean, when you lead MLS next pro and offsides,
Second in MLS
no,
Next Pro.
yeah, next MLS next pro with offsides, and we've seen him so much, it's kind of like, okay, we'll see what happens here. But he's been a breath of fresh air. His
He really
positioning
has.
has been great. His runs have been good. We'll talk about he times that run perfectly, gets in on Cornell. I thought it was offsides, but it was pinpoint.
Yeah,
Um, Cornell makes a great save on him.
yeah.
Sure, maybe down the road he's going to finish that, but
Yeah, Sal should have had a goal there. He knows he should have had a goal.
oh, he
And
said as much.
he told me as much. But no, like um it's one of those things where yeah, he's going to learn how to finish that better,
Mhm.
but the fact is he had a great run on that. He's positioning himself well, and I think like this has been brought up you and Todd and people are talking about it. Maybe just at the next pro level it wasn't fast enough for him, so that's why
It
he's offside so much. So perhaps, I mean, he did get off. It was funny because, of course, he did get offside. Got called for offside in that, but he's really stepping up. I really am happy that he's getting this opportunity because the skill is there and he is adapting to the MLS play, like to that level of play.
yeah.
And Bradley was really high on him. He's been asked about it a bunch of times lately because I asked about him in Columbus. He's been asked about the last like couple press conferences by people. So, yeah, he's out there making a name for himself.
And
The
good for
goal's gonna
him.
happen.
And good
So,
for him. No, I
so
mean, again,
way to go, Sal.
more contributions you can get from these academy kids, the better it's going to be. But
Hmm.
after the game, I said to him, hey, probably going to be going up and back and forth a lot between first team and second team. What are your thoughts on that and preparation? He's like, I like it, again. And he took this the right way. It's another opportunity for me to get playing time, and that's what's important. And it really is. Now you can say, well, the MLS Next Pro jump. Yes, but that's the important thing. That's going to segue into our next topic about the MLS Next Pro match.
Yeah.
Is Yes, for some of these guys, maybe getting loaned to USL is good,
Hmm.
but yeah, as long as he's getting some playing time and staying fresh, I think that's important for his development as well, short term.
Yeah.
Um,
I think it's also really important to note that there seems to be a very good communication between like Bradley and also Ryan Richter and just with between the first team and the second team, kind
oh
of
yeah.
playing the same system. They're really on the same page and they communicate a lot. And I know Bradley's talked about this, Ryan's talked about this. So I think one thing that really works well in their favor is there is that kind of seamless kind of communication.
So yeah, I mean, Union end the night 2-0. They're not 43 points, jump back to the top of the Eastern Conference in the supporter sheet.
Yes, thank you to Cincinnati for having a meltdown.
Yeah, I mean,
I mean, whew, like it's funny because I'm the stands I'm with our friends there and I look, I'm like, oh, I said, Hell is Real should be starting right now. I look at my phone and I'm like, how is it 1-0 already? They literally like just started. And I'm like, wow, they scored in the first minute. And then it's like, oh, they scored in the fifth minute. Oh, wow. So it's 2-0 and like,
yeah.
6 minutes into the game. And then of course then things unraveled and Cincinnati gave up an own goal and then they gave up another goal and they gave up another goal and it's just like yeah. So they had some trouble there, but
But look, at the end of the day, I'm going to make this comment. I mean, yeah, and then Miami comes back and it
did what
comes
they do.
against Nashville, who was red hot.
Hmm.
Look, the Eastern Conference, the top half of the West with I think Vancouver's fading a little bit, but San Diego's hanging around. Good for
Hmm.
them, being an expansion team. But we'll see what happens. I
I
mean,
feel like the East is definitely the stronger side.
I do too. We'll see. We got some Western Conference opponents coming up, starting with this weekend's match,
Hmm.
but we'll see.
Yep.
Um, but yeah, good win. And that really is going to set the tone for the rest of summer now. So, and again, you did eclipse my preseason total, by the way, of 42 points. So,
Hey,
hey,
doing
I,
things.
I guess, I guess.
So
But it just goes to
it's
show we're like, oh man, it's doom and gloom. Oh no, well, it's not
yeah.
even doom and gloom. It was, we knew there was talent. We knew it was us keep an open mind. This could work, it could go south. And we've, for the most part, just kept that open mind during the off season. And it was like, how can we get to the playoffs? And now it's like, well, now how can we host the playoffs, stay in contention for the Shield? So,
And by the way, of course, the power rankings were put out today for MLS, and the Union are listed as fourth, even though they lead the Shield and they lead
well,
whatever.
look, I
And
mean,
it's power rankings, so
it's
they
power.
ranked San Diego first, then Miami, and then Nashville, and then the Union are in fourth. But whatever.
I
After
mean,
the fact that Vancouver has dropped down to 10th. Woo.
well, I mean,
It's
again,
the ebbs and flows of the season, but
Vancouver could get hot at the right time, make another run. Who knows?
yeah, hopefully, I mean, I don't know if any of us saw the Union being at the top of the table as much as they have been, even at all, first of all, but
Again,
even,
there's talent on this team. You never know what can happen.
yeah, you never
And
know.
I still think now, 22 games in, you know what you got.
Yeah.
This is a team that's going to compete.
And this is a team that has a lot of belief in themselves, and
And
just,
and
it's
even
great.
Parnell said today, you know, we want to be the hunter, not the hunted. And that's important.
Yeah, and honestly, when I looked at this power rankings, I'm like, yeah, whatever, because Philly likes to be the underdog. I mean, did 2017 teach us nothing, right?
Yeah.
2022, Union were still the underdog, and they almost went and won the whole thing. So,
We'll see.
hey, whatever, whatever. But
It's a really exciting time, and so we hope to see the good vibes continue. Let's talk a little bit about Union 2. You
yeah.
were down there.
Yeah, so Union 2, they hosted Chattanooga FC, which this was the second time they've played them this season. They were on the road against Chattanooga back on May 3rd, and that was a 0-0 draw, then had a marathon of a penalty shootout, which went to 12 rounds, and Union 2 ended up being on top for that. And Andrew Rick had been in goal for that. That was the last time Andrew Rick was in goal for Union 2,
Yeah,
ironically. So I mean, it went so long that the keepers had to kick and went around,
yeah.
again. So anyway, they were on top for that. So they meet again. And Chattanooga had been in second, but then with the previous result, Union 2 jumped ahead of them. So they were a point ahead of them in the standings. Red Bulls 2 were in first. But so this is a big match coming in. And Andrew Rick was once again in goal, which was good. I was saying I wanted to see Rick get some work in goal, at
Yeah.
least for Union 2, to keep him sharp because with Andre back, he's not getting that playing time. So Rick was in goal and not his best outing, unfortunately. And I know Ryan Richter said post game about that. He he definitely stepped up when it really mattered too, which in the shootout, of course. But
Right.
we know he's always good for some saves in a shootout. So anyway, Union 2, they had a good starting lineup that rolled out. You figured you're going to see some guys that didn't get playing time with the
Yeah.
first team. So you have Marcus and Eddie up top. You have Rick and goal. Cavan, he played the whole game.
Mhm.
So Cavan played the full 90. And and then the other guys running it out as well. I mean, Kellen, he's been real good, I think,
Yeah.
lately. So first game without CJ. Um, and so you have the other guys stepping in there, filling in. And so, long story short, Union 2, they end up, they go out and they get that first goal. Cavan scores, and it was a beauty of a goal. I mean,
Hmm.
really nice goal by Cavan. And so it's like, okay, game on. And then it's stoppage time. It's very like the very end of first half, and and Gavin Turner, who is on loan from DC United.
Yeah,
He's like one of the only young players on that team because the average age for Chattanooga, by the way, is like 25.
yeah.
And I'm sure it's quite, and it's that's not even it being quite skewed by their 40-year-old goalkeeper, Eldin Jakupovic, by the
Yeah.
way. And anyway, he is somehow related to Malik, so
I
we've
thought it
heard
was a cousin, but you said
cousin or uncle or something.
yeah.
I don't know. Well, the thing is, when he even put on his Instagram, sort of like, Unc, that's also what like the kids will call like someone who's like old, we'll say Unc.
So
So I don't know if that's just like, yeah, if that's just the slang or or
there's a
actual.
relationship
But I
there.
heard there is some kind of relation. Anyway, but back to this. So Gavin Turner, though, he just has a phenomenal goal from way
Yeah,
outside the
that's
box. Just bad marking on Union Two's part. Nothing Rick could do about it. I mean, it was a rocket. It that is up for one of the goals of the match day. Unfortunately, so is Cavan's goal. So you all can go vote for that. Someone put the Batman signal out. Put the bat signal out to all the Bangladeshi fans. So. But no, I mean, if I'm looking at it objectively, I'd probably say Turner's was the best out of the.
Turner's was nice.
But
Even I'm like I
I
saw
was just like,
that live and I'm like, ah. I'm
I
like,
mean,
but again,
yeah.
that was a case, and Kevin brought this up when you spoke with
Hmm.
him after the game, that was an opportunity that you need to put the game away
Yes,
early.
yes.
And Union kind of got up and
They had
eh,
chances,
they had
lots of
chances,
chances.
and it was like, okay, you got all these chances, guys. You got to put them away because the more you lead an older, more experienced team around, they're going to find opportunities. Maybe
Yeah.
not always, but you leave yourself. And that's what happened. And then coming out of the half, Union can see two other goals.
Yep, and let's talk about those because
Yeah.
so the momentum had really swung in Chattanooga's favor. I mean, you don't want to end the first half like that, giving up that
Anytime you
screamer
give
of a
up a
goal.
goal.
But like now they have new life because Union 2 looked like the more dominant side the first half. Problem is they're getting all these shots and they're either going wide or the crossbar, hit the post, whatever. They're making shots. And Kellen, of course, Kellen was like the most snake bitten, I think, because he'd like hit the post or go out. He was getting shots off, but um Chattanooga didn't have that many shots. I think they had like 8 shots on the whole game or something, but most of them were on target. That's the
Yeah, they had
thing.
8 shots, 5 on target.
Yeah, so Union 2 had like 20 some. Well, I
27 and it
think
was like
27. Yeah, but not like only like 7 were on target. So it was something like that. But, you know, they yeah, the second half it's like, "Oh no, what's going on?" Because they give up a goal from Rick was caught out of position. It,
yeah.
it looked like they like first Rick was like way out of position, and you think that oh my gosh they're gonna totally lock it in, and they didn't. It got blocked, I think, and then but then they knocked it in like
Mhm.
just right after that, and so unfortunate on that. And then they score a goal off a corner. Well, what happened too was so Rick was called for a handball that said that he was like out of the box with the ball in
Yeah.
his hands, and he was shown a yellow, and we're like, okay, so that set up a free kick like right at the top of the box, basically. Rick makes a great save. It goes out,
Yeah.
goes to a corner, and then they end up scoring on that corner. So, unfortunate there. So it's like, oh no, it's 3-1. And it's getting late in the game. Now,
Mhm.
of course, Ryan made use of his subs and everything. At the half, he brought in Malik Jakupovic.
Yeah.
So that was the most. We're like, okay, this is going to be the most that Malik's played
Mhm.
in because he's subbed in later in the games, and let's see what he can do. So he came in for Marcus, who looked like he got a little banged up.
Yeah.
One of the Chattanooga players got a yellow card at one like late in the first half for fouling Marcus, and hopefully Marcus is okay. I saw him walking around the mix zone. He seemed like not like he was limping at least or anything, but
We'll see.
yeah. So anyway, so they're down 3-1. It's getting late in the game, and like I don't know, it's like 80th minute or so. It was getting late in the game, and you're thinking, oh boy, this is not looking good. And then the moment that I know a lot of people were waiting for happened because they're thinking, oh, you need to have Jakupovic scoring on Jakupovic. So,
And he did. It
and
was
he
a
did.
beautiful header.
Oh, it was a great header. It was a great header. And so, for that one, See, that was the one that wasn't it Willie and Jordan were involved in that one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because a lot of people were talking about it. Like, it's a great just combination of all those young guys that are coming up
Yeah.
together, knowing, I think it was William crossed it in,
Yep.
and
Jordan. Yeah.
Malik just knocks it in.
Yeah. Great header. Great
And
header.
when he scores that, you're like, okay.
Okay, game on because they're only down by one at this point.
And then Cavan knocks that other one in.
And listen, the one that Kevin knocked in. So, I mean, I'm just like tweeting out about Malik's goal and everything, and then it's like, bam, Kevin scores again. Like it was so quick. It was within 2 minutes of Malik's goal. So that it's like, okay, now you love to see that fight. That's what we know these guys can do.
Right.
And so, okay, it's all level, and it's like, okay, come on, please end this in regulation. Please score in regulation. But they don't, despite some chances, but they don't. So, guess what, folks? We're going to a shootout again with these teams. So,
Oh,
they've had a lot of shootouts. I mean, hey, shout out to Next Pro for getting players like Matt Freeze really ready for shootouts.
no, it's
You know,
true.
they're real though.
It is. I mean, look, again, I go back to Cavan's comment,
Hmm.
that we've seen it a couple times from this team where you feel like they're almost just on cruise control because they're so talented.
Right. They just kind of like sit
That,
back
or they're
and.
just trying to do too much at
Mhm.
times. And, they just keep shooting and shooting rather than looking like Chattanooga was just trying to break the Union 2 down, and they did a couple times and got some chances. I'm curious to see, is this something where, okay, let's kind of preach that we gotta keep the pedal to the metal at times.
Yeah.
Because they have, but a lot of the times you do notice I am interested in this, and I'll finish my thing, that you sometimes when they're either down or they're tied, they just go on this late run, they scored a goal, and that's the game.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, that's game over. And
This is grown men they're playing against. They can't
yes,
do that.
so credit to them for kind of fighting back
Hmm.
to getting the 2 points, stay within striking distance of Red Bull.
Yeah. And the shootout, of course, they've had plenty of practice at that, and at least you feel some confidence going in knowing Rick's in goal for that. And to their credit, Zemla and Holbrook, they've had to do shootouts too, and they've each had saves on that too. So,
So,
I mean, credit to goalkeeping with the Union because they've been phenomenal. But anyway, so it went well, Union 2 win the shootout 6-5.
yep,
So you had uh Union 2, they did a pretty good job with their PKs. Leandro Sorias has hit the post. Um his was the one right after Rick makes a save on, I
yeah.
want to say it was like the third round or so. But anyway, Rick makes a save, but then Leo comes up and he hits the post, which was unfortunate. And then, a few of them make theirs as well. Um William Ferreira, or Willie as they call him, he his what like actually Chattanooga's keeper Jakubovic, he got like a hand on it, but it went over
Yeah.
and in, which was like whew. And then on the final round, Rick makes a save, and then Nick Pariano steps up, and he's had some rough luck lately with the PKs, missing them or getting them saved or whatever. So he steps up and he makes it. And I know, and I talked to him after the
Yeah,
match.
talk about what you talked
Yeah.
to them about.
So, I asked him, how's that help your confidence? He's like, basically, he basically said, yeah, it's a relief that really, really did help. And
And
yeah,
it's kind of like the closer mentality in baseball.
yeah,
You sometimes with PKs you just gotta get that next one to kind of get over that hump.
yeah. Like if you blew a save the last time, okay, now you just got to get
Yeah,
back on track. And
let it creep into your mind.
yeah, so anyway, so Union 2 win in the shootout. They have 2 points over Chattanooga now. They're still in second. They're um, just behind Red Bulls too. But again, Union 2 have 2 games in hand. So hopefully they'll make good use of those games.
Yeah, they got a 3-game road streak now.
The road trip.
Yeah,
Yeah.
road trip. So
Yeah, they're going to Crown Legacy this weekend. They're going to be playing at the same time. Well, they're going to play at like 7 at Crown Legacy, and then the first team plays at 8:30 because it's an hour behind in Houston. So, you guys can kind of, just make a night of it, right? Watch both. But Yeah, they got a road trip coming up. They're not back at Subaru Park till August. Not till the day after the Eintracht Frankfurt friendly. So it's like August 3rd or whatever that day is.
Yeah, so they got a couple of weeks on the road, but
Yeah.
hey, they're still in it, and now we turn the page to tomorrow. Well, again, time of this podcast, Wednesday night's
Yeah.
showdown.
Yeah. And by the way,
Oh, do you have one other
yeah.
thing? Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's okay. And, you know, for post game comments and everything, you can go check out my article. I posted the recap of the game. I have lots of post game comments from Ryan Richter. You definitely you thought that they had some things to work on with that match, but happy to get the 2 points, obviously. But um, I talked to Kevin Sullivan and asked him about first of all, his first start in MLS,
Mm,
which was an important moment for him. So, talked about with him and with Nick about their mentality going into this, about working towards the next Pro Cup, like getting back to that since they were both, of course, part of that last year. They talked about what they're seeing from some of their teammates with Malik and those other young players stepping up. So you can go check out those comments on there. I have also posted some audio on socials as well. So you guys can go check that out if you're interested.
yeah, no. I'm just curious now because I remember that. What Kevin say about his first start?
Oh, so no, he said it was really exciting for him basically, and that I mean you could pull it up if you want to, Kyle.
I could, but I don't have it on my computer.
Oh, I was gonna say you can pull it up on Twitter. I have it on there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I
no,
don't even know if it is.
yeah, just go to my Twitter. So we'll pull that in a second. But anyway, so and it was an unfortunate result in Nashville, but hopefully more to come and um you know so we'll pull that up and share it because it's on my Twitter. So um
Yeah.
yeah, should be down a little bit. Go down. There it is. All right.
Hold on. I gotta pull this up.
Yeah.
Well, hold on, I gotta share the screen
Yeah.
here. All right, let's get this going. All right.
Yeah, because I don't think he'd really been asked about it yet,
All right.
so there you go.
Let's pull this up.
Nice to get start a game and finally get the real feel of what an MLS game's like. Obviously, coming into games later, somewhat more hectic, but also like players are tired and it's a different type of game. So starting was pretty fun. I enjoyed it. Obviously, unfortunate result there at the end, but I'm happy to get that under my belt and hopefully more to come.
All right. So yeah, that's a little bit from Kevin there.
Yep.
So yeah,
Mhm.
no, that was good to hear from him.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
let's chat about tomorrow night's match.
Yeah. So, and of course, I guess when everyone's listening to this, it'll be today, right?
Yep.
So, yeah. So playing Montreal, who have had a rough season. It's
Yeah.
also the return of Brandon Craig,
Yeah.
so Billy
I
Guy.
yeah, they're coming off of a loss to Inter Miami. Now, they have been playing better. They have 3 wins in the season. They've had 2 wins in their last five.
Yeah, you can't just go into just like with LA Galaxy, who
Well,
are
that's what I was
it's
about to
it's
bring
that
up.
kind of game. Like they can do things well, just don't like sit back and just go
And
easy.
they've had they drew in Orlando, which is never an easy place to play. Um,
Yeah,
Orlando's up and down, but they can turn it on just like anybody else. So,
yeah,
that was a great road point for them, and so they've had some nice wins. I think that was something Carnell talked about. Also, you have somebody like they have what's his name? He was asked about today. Their striker. Oh my gosh. Now, anyway,
yeah.
um, that's gonna really annoy me because I was talking about him to somebody today.
Owosu.
Yes, Owasu, who leads the team with 9 goals on the season.
Yeah.
9 of them are in the box.
Hmm.
So, there's this threat that Union are gonna have to look out for. I mean, obviously, they've gotten some good play as of late,
Yeah.
but again, this is a game where you want to get those 3 points and get to 45 points.
Yeah.
Would you take a point? It depends, but now you gotta pick up a 3 points or
At
two.
home against a
The
team
bottom
that's at the bottom
feeder.
of the table.
That's not the
No, you need
best.
to go get 3 points. Anything less than that's a disappointment.
It is. But on the injury front, sounds like the team's improving.
Yeah, yeah. Today, Bradley said on the presser that looks like just about everyone besides Jan is going to be back, or is looking pretty good. So he said it would be like a game time decision. And actually, I think we should get that injury report like in it. Actually, is it in? Yeah.
Might be out
Yep.
right now,
Yeah,
actually.
I'll check. But yeah,
But
so
there
it sounds like
again,
everyone's good. I know Mikkel looked like he was training pretty decently when I was out there, and so that
no, I think for me, just like you said earlier, against a team's bottom of the league, you gotta get 3 points here tomorrow night. Um,
Jan is okay. I got it. Jan is out, obviously, and Jesus Bueno is questionable. Mikel Ua is even listed. So game on, Mikel Ua.
all right, and
And
let's see
Montreal,
let's see what.
Jalen Neal is out with an ankle. George Campbell is out, not due to injury, and Giacomo Vrioni is elbow questionable.
Well, so now yeah,
Vrioni
that's
is
that's actually
questionable. That's yeah.
yeah. You got Veroni questionable, and you got
Hmm.
Neal. Obviously, if you don't,
Yeah.
George Campbell's getting. Where's he going? He's going overseas, right?
Hmm.
Yeah, I posted that out. The big opportunity for him.
Yeah.
He's heading overseas. So Chester native heading overseas. That's good to see.
Hmm.
But yeah, so we'll see what happens. Obviously tomorrow night, but big opportunity for the Union to get another 3 points. Um, Honestly, if they played like they did on Saturday, that first 45. I wouldn't be too concerned, but you never know. It's a midweek game in MLS. Crazy things happen, but
I'll be there covering from the press box, so you guys can follow me on that.
yeah, so I will not be there. But I guess if Mike does the post game, I'll probably hop on.
Yeah.
So we'll be around. We'll have some content. I know I'm gonna have a preview article at the time this probably out sometime prior to the game, so just keep an eye out for that.
Yep.
And yeah, and then the last thing is we're heading on the road. We will be in Houston.
Yep.
So yeah, if you see us around the stadium, make sure to say hi. We're looking to check out that stadium. We'll have a
Yeah.
travel article around.
Yeah, if any of you guys are heading to Houston, let us know. Because I haven't heard from anyone who's going at this point. But
No,
yeah, we get hey, Jack McGlynn, we'll get to see him play.
yeah, first
Yeah,
time Jack has played against a former team.
yeah.
Um, Houston's gonna be a good challenge as well. I
Yeah. They
mean,
just had a nice win there, didn't they?
yeah, they did. They've
Yeah.
had a couple nice wins. So, but they're up and down.
Yeah.
But you never know. They're a good team. Ben Olsen does a nice job, and they're fighting for a playoff position. So, in fact, after them, then they play Colorado, who again is
They've
another.
been surging like
They've been surging
yeah.
as well now that they got Zach Steffen back, and they're getting a little bit
Hmm.
healthy,
Yeah.
and they're fighting for a playoff spot. So when you look at the standings, Union, yeah, you can say, oh my gosh, they should get 9 points. Well, road match, some teams buckling, hey, we'll see.
Yeah. So they just got to keep bringing it, and
Yeah, that's exactly it.
if they can play more like what they did against Red Bull in the first half, that's going to set them up for success. So hopefully that continues. And they need to just get out on the front foot against Montreal and just keep holding on to that. Like, just get it going early. Go get goals and then just keep it going. And then yeah, that should be that.
I'm curious to see now with Ua back.
Hmm.
Um, I don't expect him to start tomorrow night,
Yeah, I think he'll come off the bench, but you never know.
but you never know. But now you got that rotation again.
Yes.
You can start different strikers at different positions. Obviously, you assume Ua's probably going to be the main cog in the wheel.
Hmm.
Him and Ty,
Yeah.
probably Bruno though too. So that's a
Yeah.
good problem. I know Carnell kind of touched on it a little bit with
Yeah.
Ua coming back, but I mean, again, it's a good problem to have. And plus, now you have Sal coming on, you have other people. So
Yeah.
hey, we'll see what happens. But before we get out of here, just again, thanks you all for listening. Thank you for reading. And this has been an all new episode of the One Team We Agree On.
Yeah, make sure to like and subscribe and leave us comments because we love hearing from you. And yeah, shout out to the people who have said hello at the matches and everything and engage with us on socials. We really appreciate it. And so, yeah, make sure you're checking out our content that we'll be putting out. And yeah, Kyle will have a travel article for Houston out. And of course, we'll have some things to report on when we're back from that as well.
Oh, for sure. And until next time, I'm Kyle,
I'm Jillian.
and we'll see you at the game.